Welcome back to the Elle-Sera podcast. And today's guest is a wonderful woman who I've used in 2 of my Elle-Sera campaigns now. She's so bright, bubbly, vivacious, and what's the word? I don't know. She's just got that je ne sais quoi. This is Georgia Goes Grey. How
Hello.
are you?
Good. How are you?
You are just a bundle of positivity. You really are. I had my genetics tested the other day. And I am naturally susceptible to being like more miserable and depressed, it said. I was like, okay, great, fantastic. And I thought, I bet you haven't got those genes that I've got because you are just the happiest, most positive, most vivacious person I've ever met.
But you know what? Like we all have choices in life, and you either, you wake up and feel like, you're a victim and life is happening to you, or you wake up and you think, okay, life is happening for me, and I choose to live in the second part. And I'm Greek. I mean, Greek tragedy. You know the whole thing with Greek tragedy. I mean, we're into drama. Like if you talk to my mum, she will say to you, if I'm happy, she'll say, you know what happens after happiness? Sadness. And it was always on a negative. But she also is a really happy person. I mean, whatever she goes through. When her brother died, she laughed.
Wow.
Laughed.
Unusual reaction.
Laughed from the belly, and we all thought she had lost it. But she, that's the way she manifests, or that's the way she deals with things. And I think I'd maybe take after her. I don't know, but I think you're a really happy person. What's this genetic testing you talk about?
I did this test. It was called the Stride test, and it gives you a breakdown of kind of your genetics, seeing what you're predisposed to. It did everything from like your nutrients and things like that. So I'm genetically more predisposed to like being folate deficient and vitamin E deficient and vitamin D deficient and a lot of B vitamins and things like that. So now I know these things about me. I can then think, oh, okay, right, I need to know. And I definitely need to supplement these things for the rest of my life. It also gave me like loads of other stuff. It said I was more of a night owl, which I thought, yeah, you're right. Funnily enough, I'd given up coffee about 7 months ago. And the reason I carried on after about 2 weeks, I thought, God, I feel so much better. And the reason I continued with it was just because I just saw so many benefits. Anyway, on my genetic test, it said you're sensitive to caffeine, not good for your sleep. I was like, wow, I knew I felt better.
Yeah.
It said I should steam more food, not really have anything charred. That could damage my DNA. It was just mad, the stuff it told me. It was actually really good. And the guy who owns the company's coming on the pod soon, so that'll be super interesting.
Yeah, and where is he?
He's actually based in Lisbon, so I might try and catch him when he's back in the UK. He's from the UK. In fact, he was a former Olympian. He won a bronze medal at Beijing.
That's amazing.
Great guy, yeah. So if he's back in town, I'll try and get him on the pod, like in person. I'd like to do it in person. If not, we could do it remotely or something from Lisbon.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be very interesting. But you bring up an interesting point. You say that you felt that thing with coffee. And this is what I'm getting really into at the moment is why did you not trust your gut? Because your body and your mind was telling you, I don't think coffee is good for me. But you kept drinking it until you went to have a test that told you.
I didn't actually. So yes, I did. I did all my life, yeah. And then I got norovirus. And then I was just like so ill. I thought, I couldn't even touch a coffee. So I stopped having it for 2 weeks. At the same time, I started falling asleep naturally. And I was like, I'm falling asleep naturally. And that never happens to me. Do you know what I mean? I'm always like having to take something or whatever, really try and get myself. And I just fell asleep. And I thought, well, maybe it's because I've not had any coffee for ages. So I just continued it. And then, I've done it for 7 months. I only did my test last week. And then on the test, it said, you're sensitive to caffeine. I thought, there you go. I knew I felt better without it. So it was kind of just confirming what I kind of knew. But you're right.
Yeah.
Always pay attention to the way you feel around people, around situations, around food. Intuitively, you should do, definitely.
You know, last year, every year I have a word I focus on. And last year the word was connection. Originally I thought, oh, okay, because I want to reconnect with friends. I'd lost touch with a lot of people that I missed. And but it blew my mind. When I started connecting, it went deeper. So it wasn't about connecting with those friends. It was realizing how disconnected I had become with everything around me, but more importantly, like myself. And it was so interesting. And the first thing I did was I disconnected from everything. I went on a detox, technology detox, and didn't speak to anyone for a bit, just to realize, if I can compare it to something, it's like, we have, like a plug. And that plug is us. We put a socket in, and then we think, oh, we can handle more. So then we get an extension plug, and we get the one with 4, and then we order another one that has 20, and we feel like, oh, there's 20, so let's plug everything in, and soon we become overwhelmed, and that's a form of burnout. I did this incredible course, and a part of the course was you're burned out, and I was like, I'm not burned out. I can handle everything. But I was burned out. And then I pulled everything away and started then plugging myself into like the body, the mind, and then realized that actually we have all the answers within ourselves. Like that thing with you talking about the coffee, you knew intuitively that your body was saying, this isn't right for you, but you didn't listen. And we stopped listening, and that's a disconnection. So I've started reconnecting with stuff, and it's become deeper. And I can't, that's all I want to share when people say to me, well, how come you have all this energy? And I'm like, it's not that I have any more energy than, say, you. It's because I'm connected to everything. And I'm, my life is all about love, because I know what it's like not to feel love or not to be loved. And I realized that love and connection go hand in hand. Without connection, you're not going to have love, whether it's love for what you do, love for the people around you, love for yourself and your body. And so I would love to see that guy.
And see what it says. Yeah, it's super interesting. It's dead quick as well. It's just a cheek swab, send it off in the post, comes back.
Oh, it's done with it's like a proper DNA type thing.
Yeah. It was good. So yeah, really interesting. But it's interesting that you said about the love and connection. I think we become so busy in our heads, and I'm going from place to place to place on the clock. Every minute of the day is accounted for at the moment. I can just speak for myself, but I haven't even got time to think about what's making me feel good and bad. I haven't even got time to reflect. And the only time I probably did that was when I did Bear Grylls out in the jungle with nothing, disconnected from everything, not even any artificial light. Not even a light switch, nothing. And I became in rhythm with the island. It told me when to wake up and to go to sleep and to do, you know what I mean? I was at her mercy pretty much. But that was the only time. And I could just sit there, look out to sea and reflect. And it was interesting where your mind wandered to, what you thought about, who you thought about, who you did not think about. You know what I mean? Things that it was really interesting actually. Yeah,
but you also mentioned earlier about that you instinctively work better in the evening. There's this thing called a chronotype. Chrono, from a Greek word, I'm Greek, comes from chrono, means time. And if we all understood our own natural rhythm, we would work better. So I'm a lark. A lark is an early bird. And whenever I would sleep in and try and work in the afternoon or the evening, things just didn't kind of flow properly. And then when I realized that's my natural chronotype, I work better. So I wake up at 5, I get everything done by 12, and the rest is just for fun. So for you now, you know that you are more of an evening person.
Yeah, I mean, I do my best work. Sometimes it'll be past 11 o'clock and it's quiet and everyone's asleep and it's dark and I'm just got my phone and I'm just hunting around the internet and I'm like, that's a good idea, that's a good idea. And I can't, in the morning, I'm useless. I will not get out. I won't even open my eyes until 7 a.m. Anything before that is ungodly hour, in my opinion.
And then when do you do your main kind of cognitive work, the work that you do when you need to really focus?
Oh, probably 11 o'clock-ish.
And how do you feel?
But actually, probably my best ever ideas or flashes of inspiration or anything usually come when I am driving and I am listening to music that I like. Like, you know how yesterday we did a photo shoot, didn't we, right? So I was in the gym 2 weeks ago, and it's the first time I'd ever walked in that gym, even though I'd had a membership for a year. Anyway, so I walked in and this lady held the door open for me, and I thought, I know her. That is Denise. Denise, who you met yesterday. And I was like, I know her. It's the lady who looks like Kate Moss. Yeah. Anyway, so I was thinking about her all the way home on my drive, and I'm listening to some good music. And then I had this idea for a campaign, and I was like, oh my God, that's it. Do you know what I mean? And my flashes of inspiration just come from wherever, but it's usually when I'm in the car listening to music or very late at night, and I'm talking like 11, 12, midnight.
Question, when you had the idea, did it stay in your head or did you write it down?
Immediately voice noted Kelly. Immediately voice noted Kelly, went, oh my God, what do you think of this? This is a sick idea. And then I sent another 4. I was like on fire that day because I sent another 4 voice notes. I'll throw this one out into the ether. So I also had that. And then I got home and I started doing my makeup. And I was like, wouldn't it be good if you had a setting spray that was a powder but came out of a can? You know, a bit like dry shampoo for your hair, but it's for your face. Like a thin, fine setting spray. And? Because I'm like powder. Well, I thought, well, that's a great idea, isn't it? I haven't got time to do it, but I was like, I've not seen this on the market.
Do you know what that is?
I should invent it.
Well, speaking of inventing stuff, last year, you guys sent me a lipstick.
Yeah.
The best shade.
It's the best. I love it.
The best shade of nude.
I'm wearing it right now.
You know, yeah. And I've got to tell you, this lipstick, I remember I contacted Kelly and I said, oh my God, can I have this? Can you? And she said, no, we don't make it. And now you're making it.
Yeah, we sell it now, because we got so many requests, honestly.
So you've got to bring out that thing. If you've got that idea, if it sparks something. I mean, how did you start Elle-Sera? It was the same thought, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was one Facebook message that somebody had sent me. She was like, what can I do for like libido? I'm feeling a bit down. I'm losing my confidence. My partner, I was like, okay, leave it with me. Let me look into this. And then I just went off on a tangent and looking at loads of stuff. And I was like, maybe there's something in this. And I started looking at loads of Google data and seeing, because at that time it was like, what? When did she send me that message? I must have been about 34 or something at the time. And my head really wasn't into like the menopause space, but it was coming into it because I dealt with a lot of ladies on my health retreats and stuff who were in that space, but I didn't know what I knew now. So that was it really. And I started looking at Google data and I realized no one's talking about this because I've not heard it until this lady had messaged me. But this is a huge issue because it's getting Googled all the time. There is nothing on the market to help. And if it is, it certainly isn't effective. So, okay, let's have a look at it. Do you know what I mean? And then I look back now, I don't know what gave me the balls to go for it, you know? I don't even know what it was, you know, because back then I didn't have... Now I've got a different kind of confidence because I'm more experienced in what I'm doing. I've never ran an e-commerce business. I can barely write a freaking email and send it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not good at tech whatsoever. I'm crap with numbers and data. But what I am good at is marketing and visuals. I love that. And that gets me excited and thinking of different stuff. Like, I must have ideas for stuff all the time. There's another product, right, that I thought of the other day on a call. And then as soon as I got off the call to Kelly, I was like, to somebody else. And then I went, Kelly, we've got to do it. We've got to do it. I've never seen this on the market and it's sick. And I would have this every day. She was like, yeah, me too. I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do it. Like, why not?
Are you not going to talk about it?
No, I can't because it's such a good one. It is such a good idea. So,
well, I've got to say, everything that you have, you know, you bought out, those supplements, I was taking like 32 supplements a day. And I then thought, I don't think any of these are working. And I went into menopause because I had cancer and went into straight menopause because they removed all of my reproductive organs.
So did you have a full hysterectomy?
A full hysterectomy.
Did they leave your ovaries or?
No, took everything plus half my vaginal wall. So I woke up in menopause, and I wasn't allowed to take
And at what
anything.
age was this?
I was 47,
Right.
and I'm now 55.
Right.
So it was a difficult thing to go through, because cancer's one thing, but then having to deal with, losing your womanhood, and then having to go into a new phase that I hadn't even prepared. I wasn't eased into it. I just woke up and not being able to take any HRT and stuff like that. And I thought, well, this is life. This is what I have to go, women go through this, and I just have to deal with it. And then when I started taking Elle-Sera, and I had heard people were saying the thing about libido, and things weren't great in that area, because I had 4 operations altogether. So my sex life,
of course,
suffered, because I wasn't allowed to have sex.
Of course, and even like people who've not gone through that, their sex life suffers.
Yeah.
Christ, Danny's always going on at me, and I'm like, I'm busy.
And yeah. But it's that kind of that feeling of intimacy is important, and we don't realize how important it is until it's when you don't have it that you realize that. And we were having troubles in the relationship because, there's a disconnection.
Yeah.
It's all about connection again, right? And so people had talked about that aspect of your supplement. And because I had taken so many, I thought, I don't know if I, even believe that a pill, will do that. And it did. It was just like, it came, like, it wasn't like bang, here you go. It came, you got the little tingling, and I just thought, is it that or isn't it that? And I realized it is that when I had to stop taking it, because I had an intestine issue, and I wasn't allowed to take any medication at all, or supplements. And that I started, feeling the low libido again. So, the fact that you had this idea, you researched it, and you did it, and you talk about, I'm not good at all of these other things, but all of those other things you can outsource.
Yeah, exactly.
The important thing is that you heard a woman and you wanted to help. So I think that's your main purpose. Like I watch people, and I saw you on set yesterday, and you have these incredible ideas, but they come from wanting the best from other people. And I see your customers, the way you treat your customers, and the little gifts you give, and wanting the stuff to be better for them. You're very purpose-driven, but I think you're more about service. I don't know. I get that feeling about you. And so I want to know about these products because they're amazing.
I'll maybe tell you after the pod. Yeah, but I was very excited about it. It's almost like that I can't do it fast enough. Do you know what I mean? If you've got something burning inside you, I'm like, right, let's get to it. Let's start doing it right now. And obviously there's like literally me and Kelly in the office, and Ava, bless her, she comes in to do a bit of work experience to help, and I'm just like chucking loads of stuff on her, saying, find me this, find me this, find me this.
So when are you going to take it to the new?
I don't know actually. So we've just launched new packaging that came this week, and then we've just launched a new website, which I'm now looking at and hate it already.
Why?
Because it's the same as everybody else's. It's pedestrian. And like, obviously I'd used an agency, and they're like, well, this is like standard, blah, blah, blah. And I was so busy like trying to deal with it. But, I'm just like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, fine. Is it better than the current one we've got? Brilliant, blah, 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 fine. And now I'm looking at it, now it's finished with a fine tooth comb, and thinking, irrelevant. That's not what people want to know. This is pedestrian, it's boring, and it looks like everyone else's website. And somebody said something to me this week that it really stuck with me. And he was like, you haven't got play it safe money. And I was like, you're fucking dead right, mate. We are not like every other business, because there's loads of other supplement businesses, health businesses, whatever, who have got major deep pockets, and they can just put a nice website out with a nice little bit of branding and some nice ads, and put 200 grand, 300 grand behind it every single month and get customers. And we haven't got those kind of budgets. So you need to be big, hard, disruptive, and do your own thing, your things your way. And that's why we focus on like low level community building, which are like happen organically. So you're absolutely right. We reward our customers. Why should I reward Meta? Why am I giving you more money when all you do is steal it. When actually the women who support me, I would rather spend more money on them, which is why I make gifts, which is why I make products better and listen to their feedback all the time. We listen to them, whether it's about the postal service, which we've changed 3 times now. We have 3 different suppliers. So I'm like, if it's not working with them, we'll pick them and, with them. Kelly's constantly on the phone to customers. And that's really important to us. And yes, we won't scale as fast as some of the other people, but you're setting your stall out correctly. You're building the foundations of a great company instead of just throwing a product into somebody's eyeballs so many times online. You're not good at marketing then, are you? You're good at spending money. That's all I can see. Right. You're just literally good at spending money.
Yeah.
With a half-assed, not even thought about product. Do you know what I mean? And that's what annoys me. So yeah, we really do take care and attention. I have a little focus group of women that I speak to help me set tone of voice when I'm saying these things as well. And obviously I do things in my own spunky style. If you ever follow me on LinkedIn, like I'm the most anti kind of LinkedIner you've ever meet. LinkedIn's got its own style and people don't even write in paragraphs on LinkedIn. It's absolutely stupid. But I put up a post this morning because our new decanter's got a screw lid.
Yeah.
I said something about getting screwed daily. I don't know. Some crass joke from me, which is, just honestly, sometimes I look at some of the stuff I write and I think people must think I've got like a testicle for a brain. I'm so non-corporate, and I just don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? I think if you like me, you like me. And we've either got customers who love us, right? And go, God, I see a lot of myself in you and you're the company for me. Because we are like straight down the line, whatever. If you love it, you'll love us. And if you don't, then go on to the other pedestrian, other companies that you can go with who just make nice products and have a nice time.
See, I personally think that I love your company and I love your ethos. And what attracted me to also you guys is that, you're a woman. You're very ballsy. You say what you think and you don't just, you don't do small talk, but you're honest. And I think we've as consumers have gotten to a point where we're sick of being sold to. We're sick of people using the dopamine hit of in your face constantly. And people are becoming a little bit more educated in that whole thing. So, I just want to, when I love a product, I genuinely love it and I want to push it. Not because they may pay me or everybody else is doing it. So I'm going to get seen because everybody else is doing it, but because it's a true product and your stuff and anything you've brought out has been amazing. Even the cap that I got as a gift yesterday, it's bloody good quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've worked with other brands where you get these little freebies and they're like flimsy. They're like, it's an afterthought and it's like a free ad, with their name on it. Whereas your stuff, you care. There's care.
I'm a very demanding woman and I think, would I buy that? No, well then I'm not even putting our name near it.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it. Would I be proud to put my name on that? If the answer is no, it's no.
Okay, I've got another question. I feel like I'm interviewing you, but I love getting to know people.
Yeah.
And it. So why the name Elle-Sera?
So I was trying to think of a name that, well, first of all, we needed a .com and you need Instagram handles, so they need to be available. It's very difficult to find them these days. And I kind of loved French women, and I was really going for this like French vibe in terms of like French luxury fashion houses. Yeah. It has that vibe to it. I'm not even interested of what anybody is doing in the health space. I don't look at them. I'm not interested. You are not you're not my inspiration whatsoever. So I look at fashion and I look at big fashion houses, Yves Saint Laurent, Chanel, whatever. Which is why it's like gold, shiny, because I think women deserve luxury and the health is like also part of that experience, a nice ritual. You're putting on your perfume in the morning, you're doing nice makeup. Makeup comes in nice packaging, perfume comes in beautiful packaging. Why can't you supplements? I don't want it to be in a plastic bottle that says menopause and purple flower on it and shoved in the back of a cupboard Well, you're never going to see it. You're not proud to be part of that community. So I was like, so that's why I kind of like made it gold, made it shiny, made it something that you could be proud to put next to your beautiful makeup on your on everything. So we wanted a kind of French name. Anyway, it meant she will be in French.
Yeah.
So it had the .com, it had the Instagram handle. I was like, okay, let's go for it. There is actually a singer called Elle-Sera, and I was like, she's got the actual Instagram handle, and I was like, oh my God, I need it. But listen, she's got that. So we're Elle-Sera.inc on Instagram. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I think, do I regret the name? Because it's sometimes difficult for people to say, but I think the more people get to know it and then know the reasons behind it.
Well, I mean, most of the iconic names are hard to say.
Yeah,
like, you know, these, Loewe.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? All of those, they're the ones, but they're the ones that stick with you. Like, it was interesting, like Elle-Sera. Whenever I think of Elle-Sera, I think of that song, that French song, right? And then I was talking to a friend of mine in Paris, and which hurry up and get them distributed.
I know.
But that's another conversation. However, again, she said, you know what it means? And I was going, yeah, well, Que-Sera means what will be. And she said, it means she will be. And then I thought, because for me, everything's about connection, as I said. So I was like, okay, now I understand the connection. You know, when your hormones are stabilized and they're in balance, you feel imbalance. So she will be, you take this supplement, and she, as in you, will be whatever you want to be.
Exactly.
Because when you're not in balance, you can't be anything because you're not stable. So this she will be, and it really, and then I just thought, I get it now. And when I was walking around with your bag yesterday, which says Elle-Sera, I was like, I felt proud because I thought, I will be whatever I want to be. And there's an empowerment with that. So that's what Elle-Sera, you know, embodies. And there's that other thing you and Kelly always say, be bold, stay gold.
Yeah.
That's genius. Where did that come from?
I don't know. Just one of our kind of, what can we stick here? What can we stick in this little gap up here? Do you know what I mean?
See, like you make it sound like, it's just something that, you know, came. But listen to the words, like be bold, you know, get out of your comfort zone, do something. That's when you're golden. That's when you are shining. That's when you're sparkling. That's when you're precious. And so for me, I was looking at it yesterday because I was looking at the products and I was like, I wish I coined this. Be bold, be brave, you know, go into your fear, and you're going to be golden. You're going to be gold and stay gold. That's how you stay. Get out of your comfort zone and stay shy. And it was all like, I was like, this stuff is deep.
Well, exactly. It could be, definitely. I always say to Kelly, if I wasn't doing this, I'd be in advertising 1,000,000%.
Yeah. Like I now say it all the time.
Yeah. Advertising. But then I also have a commercial mind. I always say, I'm like, I'm just looking for somebody who's good creatively, but with a commercial mind. And I always think, well, if I found that person, they would be running their own business because, like, why wouldn't they? Because that is like me.
Well, I was going to say, but you are.
Yeah,
it's you.
Exactly. So I need to find me. But anyone like me is running their own business for themselves. You know, they're hard to hire.
But you know what? Even this conversation, I feel like you're almost kind of like brushing it off.
Well, who knows?
and I think you're way more dynamic with that. Like if you guys, like I'm feeling your energy now, and it's powerful, it's strong. It's, I don't know. And that's what I love. Where do I get my energy from? I get my energy from other people. So, you know, I'm really grateful to be here because I feel like I'm getting this energy like, yeah, you know what? You have an idea, go out there and do it, which is exactly what you're doing. But it's not only that. You're not just going out there to grab whatever you can, and you're doing it to help people.
Yeah.
And those two things connected make magic.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And Well, I kind of just think, do I want this? Would I take this myself? Would I give this to my mom, all my loved ones and people that I care about? Is this the best? I will not waste my time making a product that is literally not better than something else on the market, because what's the point? It's so hard. It's so hard. Marketing is so hard already. So if I can't pin it on something that goes, this is better than the current one you're already taking or whatever, then what's the point of me doing it?
Yeah.
There's no point. That gets me out of bed in the morning. If people can look at me, the whites of my eyes, and I go, no, I believe that this is the best one.
Yeah.
And people feel that. And I truly believe that. I take my products every day.
Yeah.
I take my magnesium every night. I use my lipstick every day. I use my tote bag every day. I wear my jumpers to work every day. We have Elle-Sera socks now.
I know.
I wear them every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I genuinely live and breathe it. So if you could just advertise your own business by being you, that's great too.
Which is great. But I want more people to know about you guys. Like, I'm so excited. I've got all these ideas of how I want to show the stuff that I got. I wore the socks yesterday and they are so soft, well made, and the quality's good, and I love that. So I was talking to my daughter and she was saying, oh, so this is a menopause product. And I said, no, it's not. I said, do you know what? When I get back, I'm going to get her to start. And she's 16. And I believe that anyone that from the moment they get their period should start looking after their hormones.
Yeah.
And to take the right things and eat the right way and stuff, but to have that extra little help. So I said to her, no, this isn't a menopause product. And just because I'm talking about it or I'm taking it, we're all in this together. Women all deal with hormonal issues at the same time. So, it's not about is not she who's in her 50s will be. It's she, as in the female form, will be. Can men take these products?
Well, actually, the ingredients have always been traditionally given to men. And when I rang the manufacturer, he was like, is this for a men's gym stack? I was like, no, it's not, it's for women. And he was like, oh, right, okay. We never really see Tribulus given to women. I was like, no, and I couldn't find one on the market. But I had found clinical data that when they'd given it to women, postmenopausal women who had sexual dysfunction, that it really, really helped them. Oh. So I was like, this is super interesting. And then I rang a herbal biologist. They were like, there's no reason you couldn't give it to women. Yeah. So I was like, okay, great. So it's... it's a really interesting ingredient. I think it was fab. But I feel like we haven't even spoken about you.
I know. Okay. All right. Ask me a question. What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
You've been part of our campaign. You've done 2 campaigns for us now, and you're one of our biggest, best cheerleaders. But I feel like this year you're going to really rock it. I know you did some talking with Grace. I love Grace from Studio Grace. 10. Yeah. She's another founder that I absolutely love, and I think she's brilliant.
Do you know what I think her brilliance is? Because she supports other women. And she's a big advocate on, positive aging and really, really helping other entrepreneurs and other women in this space, because she understands how hard it is to be seen as a woman, and I absolutely love her. And she actually pushed me to start the public speaking. I had a phobia with public speaking. I was an actress before, and it's easy when you're a different character to, when you're pretending to be someone else. But when I met her, she said, you need to, to talk to others and help others on a bigger scale. Why don't you do this? And I said, oh, yeah. But when I was at school, a teacher said to me, which is, when you're young and you're impressionable, things stick with you. So it's really important the language we use. But this teacher said to me, Georgia, you have the ugliest speaking voice.
Some guy said that to me once. Really? You'd be perfect without that accent. I was like... He actually asked me to come on the pod. I thought, yeah, I'm going to get you on the pod and roast you.
Yeah, did you?
I'm going to.
Oh, yeah, do it. Because, people also have to be accountable for some of the stuff they say. So from a young age, I hated my voice. And so I would never speak in a public arena. And I think that's also why I got into acting, because I thought if I'm someone else, then people will accept me and like me, because obviously I have an ugly speaking voice, so people are not going to resonate with me.
You have an absolutely beautiful speaking voice,
You know
by
what?
the way.
This is me, and my voice isn't just what comes out of my mouth. Anything I say, and I've put my foot in my mouth many times, it comes from here. It comes from here. It's what I feel, and it comes out the way it kind of, the energy in here. Anyway, and so Grace, without my consent, she agreed on my behalf for me to do an engagement. And I was like, and they then, without my consent, put out the flyers saying that I am going to be on this panel. And she was a big advocate. She was like, you're going to do it. And well, it's too late now because you're whatever. So I did it. And the feedback I got was amazing. So then I've done privately. I haven't really promoted them because I was still a bit, I'm learning, like you when you first started the podcast. And I thought, well, how can I want to share what has helped me in life, get through life, but how can I do it without making it about me? So I'm still trying to figure out when people say, well, how do I introduce you? I don't know, because I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about them and what they can take. And I've been to talks where I've watched these incredible public speakers, but I went there to be more like them. And they made it about themselves. Well, I am the number one best-selling this, and I have a, best-selling book. And I was like, well, I'm never going to be that. And I thought, how can I get on this space and make it about somebody else? So I'm still learning all of those little things, because at the end, people are like, oh my God, your energy. And I said, but I showed you. I actually physically showed you what you can do to get that energy. Don't look at how I live my life. What can you take? Take whatever you need. You need a thumb? Take it. I'm giving it to you, but make it your own. So I'm trying to still work that out. It's fun.
Well, I think you're a great engaging public speaker, definitely. Very engaging. Like I said, someone you want to be around because you bring the best out in people. You've got a very sunny disposition. You're really positive. Like yesterday on set, you just bring that like high spirit energy. You're so great to be around. And that's the kind of energy you want on a photo shoot for defo. I can honestly see you having such a career, especially not only in the modelling space.
Oh my God, I'm so not a model.
You honestly did. Calvin, yesterday, she did not take one bad picture. It was like, not unedited. I've looked at them all this morning and I was like, wow, I wouldn't even need to touch that picture. Not even the lighting, your face, your hair, your skin, nothing. It could go in Vogue magazine tomorrow.
Oh no, do you know, thank you. That's really kind.
I am not blowing smoke up your ass. Like, you do look phenomenal. What the hell are you doing? You are actually phenomenal. What's your beauty routine?
I'm like blushing now. Do you know, I'll tell you about the beauty routine, but before that, again, it's what someone had said. Like when I was an actress, we would do these, photo shoots for promotion. And this photographer said to me, Georgia, you're amazing in moving pictures. And I was like, oh, thank you. And then the other actor said to me, what he meant was you're not very good in still photos. So then I had a phobia of that as well. I thought, oh my gosh. So I'm great when I move because your energy's moving. But in photos, I hold my breath. So when you hold your breath, no energy's moving. So if no energy moves, you're going to be lifeless. And so it was like, well, I'm never going to do those. So when Reels came out on Instagram, I was in my element because I thought, great, I don't have to do these stagnant photos where I'm holding my breath and they're not me because it's dead and I can move. And then when people said, oh, would you be interested in doing this modelling thing? I'm like, but I'm not a model because I have these two looks.
No, you definitely don't.
And that's because I freeze, literally freeze with my breath. And so Kelly was amazing yesterday because she taught me, and I had taught myself a little story, because with acting and moving, you have an internal story of what is the story going on in your head. And because there's a story, there's a life. So yesterday I said to her, okay, tell me the story. Tell me the story we're trying to tell with this product. And I could breathe, which was great, because I would have fainted if I had to hold my breath in the photo shoot yesterday. But it's all about that moving energy. So I'm doing these things, and I was so thankful that you guys asked me to do it. And there was a part of me that was like, why would you want me? There are so many beautiful models out there who are amazing at what they do, who would love and jump at the chance to do this. But I thought, no, I'm going to do it, to get out of my comfort zone. And I don't want to be disrespectful to you, because if you believe in me, then I'm going to honor that and do the best I can. And that's why I bring the energy onto the set, because I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be there. I'm grateful to the people who believe in me, and all of that connected is going to make for a great photo shoot.
I honestly can see you walking a catwalk for like a big, big fashion house.
Oh, have you seen my walk?
Oh my God, I promise you now. Like, honestly, I don't know what you manifest or what you've got on your vision board or what your goals are, but honestly, I feel like it would be like a given, you know? I'd be like, yeah, of course, she's absolutely amazing. Never mind moving pictures. I've seen you operate in real life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you would like be absolutely outstanding on a catwalk with your style, your walk. You went over there to put some more lipstick on before. I was like, wow, did you see it bound over? Like, absolutely amazing. I think you're doing yourself a complete discredit.
Yeah.
But,
the only thing I do is I wake up and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful to be here. I think that was the gift that cancer gave me. You know, when you're, when you're faced with death, you realize how precious life is. So am I going to jump out of bed? Yes, I am, as annoying as it is to my husband. But I'm going to jump out of bed. I'm going to, embrace every moment, because we don't know how long we have here. So that's my motivation. And that's what gets me up. And people, I love people. And everyone has an amazing story. Like, you have an incredible story. Everybody I met yesterday has a wonderful story. That gorgeous fireman.
The milk tray man.
Milk tray man. I never saw the milk tray.
You'll have to go and watch the ad.
Yeah, no, I did last night.
Yeah.
Last night I was like, who is this milk tray? But his story, like, he was telling me about, like a couple of things where he could have died with these gas leaks and stuff. And when he spoke about it, so when we had to do the photo shoot, they asked if I would go, they wanted me, Kelly's like, oh, just leave your top on. I went, I'm taking my top off. I'm having this man's hands around my boobs, but it wasn't like, oh, this man's going to put his hands on my naked boobs. It was this man whose hands have saved other people. That energy, having that on my breasts. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
like
definitely,
when you get that there's this guy is going to have his hands on my, like, near my breasts, or this man, a fireman who helps people with these big strong hands here. That was empowering. And then to have my hands in his with those magic pills. I know they're called the golden pills, but these magic pills, I mean, look at all that energy and all of that connection. That is going to project into the photo that you're going to see on your website.
Yeah.
So, that's what's motivating, that whole connection of all of those things that make for something good. And that's how I live my life, with everything in my life.
I think, it's such a good mantra to have, such a good ethos, such a good outlook. And I love the way that, again, you've taken something that was so negative that happened to you and turned it into such a positive that drives you forward, and is now opening you up to so many more experiences, so you can really have a rich and colourful life.
Yeah, because I mean, God, if I kept those self-doubt, that all of those self-doubts that I had, I would never have met, you or all of these wonderful people. When I do these talks, or to be a model, where I thought I couldn't. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone, and also listen to yourself. Listen to, I'm glad I tried your supplements because I listened to myself rather than being sold something. And so, we have stopped trusting ourselves. And that, again, for me, is learning through this whole thing with connection, is we've become so disconnected with our own self that it's easier to listen to what the media tells us, what everybody else outside of ourselves tells us, rather than to actually trust and listen to ourselves. And you're a great example of this, because you listened to what was important and you've brought out incredible things. And I think this is only the beginning for Elle-Sera. I really do. I think Elle-Sera is going to become more than just about supplements. I have a feeling, and I have a gift with these feelings. I'm great. I get the feels. I get the feels everywhere. And thanks to Elle-Sera, I get the feels where it matters.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to finish. Well, thank you so much, Georgia, for everything that you do for me and the brand. And honestly, I can't thank you enough. You were absolutely on your A game yesterday. The pictures look fire, and you've been absolutely amazing to chat to today. And I know we'll probably have plenty more chats in the future. Yeah, so thank you very much.
I hope so. But thank you. And thank you for believing in me. And I thank you.
Thank you very much.